Hello, good morning. I hope that you're all well and that you've had a good week. It's been a truly glorious weather week in Cornwall, and this morning our little cove looks so beautiful. A little while ago a small sailing boat came into the cove and dropped anchor, and there's something so romantic looking at a single boat at anchor in a beautiful little cove. I get so much pleasure with the view from our house. I love looking at and being on water. It must be the Pisces in me. This week a lot has happened with needlework, and I will get to that, but I just want to give you an update about the dogs. Whether Hugo has got hip dysplasia, I really don't know. He does sit in a very odd way. He kicks his back legs out when he sits. But the problem he had, where he was literally screaming in pain with his leg when it was going backwards, has disappeared. He is right as rain. He's running around doing all the things that he normally did before. I suspect the problem was he must have hurt or twisted his hip, and the joint filled with fluid, and the course of medication he has taken all the inflammation out, and he seems right as rain. So fingers crossed he doesn't develop like full-blown hip dysplasia at a later date. I've bought a ramp for the dogs to get in and out of the car, but they are not having it. When I get back from the attic, I'm really going to try and work on training them to use the ramp. The vet said it's no good them jumping in and out of the car, although Hugo has never jumped up into the car, but he will jump out of the car. Okay, we had a scare with Bertie this week. We were just going to go out for a walk, and I was putting their collars and leads on them, and all of a sudden Bertie started to frantically rub his good eye. And when I looked, his eye was swelling up, and I could see that he'd been stung right on the bottom eyelid. Now Bertie is sensitised to stings, so I always have Piriton in the house and in the car in case anything happens when we're away from the house. So I quickly gave him some Piriton, which is antihistamine, and it seemed to stop the swelling. But we were so lucky, like a few millimetres, and that sting would have been in his one good eye. We love them so much. They are such a worry. Anyway, this week with needlework, I had a finish. Here it is. This is Nenquin. I think that's how you pronounce it. I really enjoyed working this sampler. I thought the border was so pretty. I loved all the different fonts that the little girl used, and this bottom section was absolutely delightful to work. It really engaged my needle. So pretty and so enjoyable. When I get back from the attic needleworks, I will get the backing board for this sampler and get it stretched and laced. This week I stretched and laced 12 models. My hands were so sore at the end of it, but I'm keeping my framer and my photographer busy. They're glad of the work. I had some samplers come this week that I had bought at auction and on eBay. Last week, some of you may have seen this sampler come up for auction. Now, I am not intending to reproduce this sampler at the moment, although that might change. I just loved the needlework in this sampler. I thought it was very beautiful, and I love the fact that this was a Welsh sampler. You know, Ray and I are both Welsh. This was stitched in Aberystwyth, and it's very, very beautiful. Now, with this sampler was a second sampler, and this sampler will be reproduced. It's different, and I love it. So, so pretty. Now, I contacted the seller, who I know quite well, and I asked her if she had any sort of provenance on these samplers, because this one does not have a name. And basically she said that she had bought this sampler framed, and when she took it out of the frame, this sampler was behind it. So we don't know if this sampler was stitched by the needleworker who stitched this sampler. It is perfectly possible that that was the case. In Wales, they have a great tradition of love spoons, and I did think that this row of hearts reminded me very much of a Welsh love spoon. It's possible. Love this. I will look forward to charting this. We had another sampler come this week, which is MK. Stitched in Cornwall in 1892. Now, I've got to research this sample. I believe it's European. I love how all these border patterns have been recorded, but what really caught my eye were these beaded squares, and each bead has been laid so neatly. The child or the lady who did this was skilled. Very, very pretty. And something that I very much would like to add to the Hands Across the Sea Samplers portfolio of reproduced samplers. I had a beautiful gift come in the post this week from Barry of Stitch Folk, and it is the customised project bag for Letters for Europe. And I do have a few of Barry's project bags, and I've got to say they are so beautiful, so beautifully made. The finish on this is perfection. Barry takes great care with every element of her work. Her top stitching is perfection. Perfection is the word with this. The way she puts her zips in and the way that she finishes off the project bags. It's so beautiful. A true work of art. Her project bags are padded, so it gives your work a lot of protection. I just adore it, and thank you, Barry, so much for this gift. It will be treasured. With regards to Letters from Europe, I know that we didn't have enough for everybody who wanted them, but I am very busy working on another box, and having done one box, which was a steep learning curve, I've had some fabulous ideas for the next box, and I'm really, really excited about it. And there's a lot of work going on in the background to make this next box even better. And I can tell you that the box will be a curated collection with some fabulous goodies that we've never done before. So very excited about that. And also we do plan to have more boxes available, and I'll be sharing more details about that with you later on in the year. What else? Oh, a finish means a new start. Now this sampler I started last night, and this will actually be my travel project for this forthcoming week, but I wanted to get some stitches in. I find that if you get some stitches in before you get on the plane. It makes it so much easier to stitch on a plane when you've got something to reference. So I wanted to make a start, and I got awful strong feeling I'm going to be doing some more stitching tonight and Monday night before I put the little project into my suitcase. I'm excited about this sampler. It's very, very pretty, and it has a fabulous backstory. I'm using Tabby Cat Wood Smoke, which is a fabulous match to the original sampler, and I'm not using black. I am using a soft mellow black, that's Soir 103 774, which just takes the harshness off the black. It's still black, but just that softer black. I love that colour, and I'm so grateful that Soir 103 have it in their range of colours. Okay, so I'm all packed. Everything is packed, ready to go to the attic. All I have to do is pop my toothbrush in and my stitching project, and I am ready to go. On Tuesday, I drive up to London. It's a 6-hour drive, and I do like to have a few stops on the way. When you drive by yourself, it always seems longer than if you're with a friend and you're chatting on the journey. I meet Linda at the airport hotel, and on Wednesday we fly to Arizona. Now this is a little bit of a different trip for us, although we're travelling per se together and we're sharing a hotel room and our event room. We're actually catching different planes. So we go into the airport together, we check in together, we spend some time in the airport lounge together, and then we get on different planes. We're so looking forward to seeing each other. We've been counting down how many sleeps we're having. This second trip seems to have come around so quickly. Every time I go to the States, I always put loads and loads of weight on because we seem to eat lots and lots. I haven't quite lost all the weight I put on from the last trip, but very, very close. It's going to be so lovely to see Jean and some old friends, and to make new friends. There's a lady going to Bristol who I have spoken to many times via Messenger and video calls, and I'm so excited to meet her in person. I've got a big hug for her. What else has been happening? Oh gosh, so much has been happening, but just can't quite think. I'm not having a very good morning. It's been one of those mornings today. I woke up to find out that there was an error in the Sarah Rinder chart. I've chatted to Sandra and Leona, and it's not their fault, it's my fault. Well, actually, it's a fault of the computer software. It's a long story, but to cut it short, I have dealt with the charting error, and when Kathy wakes up this afternoon, because she's on California time, I'm on UK time, there's quite a big difference, Kathy will post in the group the correction page for you. I almost forgot. I was just clearing everything away to go and edit my video, and I remembered something that was very, very important that I meant to say. The set of 3 tea towels, I'm sorry that there was not enough for everybody. I had planned to bring out some new designs of tea towels, but I've had so many emails and messages from people who want to have the tea towels for Jane Fiddis, Anne Thomas and Anton Uffendell, that I've decided to reprint those. I've spoken to the company that printed them, and they're going to be do me a big favour and push through the print job a little bit quicker than normal. So I should have another set of those 3 particular designs by the middle of July. Now, I had thought of making them available on my website as back order, so you could go and secure them now, but I always feel very uncomfortable about taking money for something if I haven't actually got it physically to ship out. So I've decided against putting them on back order, but as soon as they're here, I will make an announcement on social media and on a Flosstube, and they will be back on my website so that those who wanted those particular designs can have them. And then at a later date, I'll be bringing out some more designs. I was totally amazed with those tea towels that the first batch of tea towels that were collected on the Thursday morning, some of them were delivered on Sunday in the United States. I just think that's amazing. One, I think it's amazing that you have a mail delivery on a Sunday. We don't have that. You know, it's great that some of them have started to arrive so quickly, but please, mail from the UK to the US normally takes between 7 and 14 days, but can take longer. The other thing is, if you ordered more than one set and several people ordered multiple sets, those sets have all shipped separately. So in each little box that you receive will be one set. And the reason for that was that those boxes are classified as large letters. I couldn't fit more than one set in those boxes, and I didn't want to ship a parcel because parcels are very, very expensive to ship. So if you receive one box with one set and you order 2 or 3 sets, there are other boxes that all went out in the same post collection, but may have got a little bit separated in the mail. The other thing is that the post collection on Saturday, they couldn't get all the boxes in the van. So although you would have had shipping notification on the Saturday, they weren't actually collected until this Tuesday because Monday was a national holiday when there was no post. I forgot to mention in my last Flosstube about 2025. In 2025, I will be having workshops in 2 countries that I've never visited before. They've been on my bucket list, and I am so excited. And although it seems a long way off, time does fly. I hope that in the next few months ahead, we'll be able to announce firm details of those events. But I'm so looking forward to going to new countries, meeting new needleworkers. July 1st, we have something very, very special releasing, and we're working with a store on a limited edition that's very, very beautiful, and I can't wait for July 1st to announce that. Next weekend at the Attic, I will be releasing, and this is on general release, a darling little sampler that was stitched by a boy. It's going to release while I'm at the Attic, and Jean has charts and kits for everybody to buy who's attending, and people can order from Jean or any other store or ourselves, because this chart is going to go on general release. Looking forward to that. And throughout June and July, we've got a lovely series of small charts going on general release. They're all different, and they'll all be beautiful additions to your sampler wall. So the next sort of month or 2 is going to be very, very busy at Hands Across the Sea samplers. I've continued to have more cards come in from Letters from Europe. Thank you to everybody. I've chosen, or I'm not chosen, these are the next 2 cards that arrived. This one is beautiful, an embroidered front, gorgeous. I love fuchsias. We have lots and lots of fuchsias in our garden. They do very, very well in the sea air that we have here. We can't grow everything because of the sea air. Now, just to say, I have a lot of cards that I haven't read. If I haven't read your card, don't worry, I haven't received it. I'm just taking these in strict order. This card says, hello from Mesa, Arizona. Thank you for doing your red birthday box. I had so much fun with it. When I received my box, I set it aside for a bit. That drove my stitchy friends nuts. You were very good. I wouldn't have been able to have resisted. My birthday is March 22nd, and I saved the box to open then. They couldn't believe I had such willpower. I must admit it was hard, but I had such a fun time opening each of my gifts. There was such a fun assortments. I can't decide on a favourite. The Greek one is so pretty with all the interesting lettering. Then Gertrude Bondi. With the 2 flags, first drew me for some reason, and then there is Alice M. Tippett with all the pretty colours. You did an amazing job with this. Thank you so much. And then there's some really kind words. You bring such joy to us stitchers with your chats, and the history you add just brings the young stitchers to life. Thank you so much, and the very best wishes to you with love. Oh, that's just so, so nice. I am having so much pleasure. It's like my birthday keeps giving and giving. The next card is the beautiful Anne Johnson, which hasn't been released yet, but will release at the end of this year, beginning of next. This is a very special project. This sampler was reproduced and stitched by Lisa in New Jersey, and Lisa is doing amazing work. Okay, so dear Nicola, it is with a grateful heart that I write to you today. I was thrilled beyond measure when my husband was able to procure one of your boxes for me, and such a treasure it is. From the brilliance of your concept, including the title, to the perfection of the curation and design, to the care of the packaging which you single-handedly undertook. I'll never forget that packing. I was thinking, have I taken on more than I could cope with? You have given us the most exquisite gift imaginable for your birthday. Thank you so much. I have now procured my Just the Ticket from Linen and Soie d'Alger for the first of the samplers, which I anticipate starting next month. Now, this card was received in April, so that would have been May. I'm so looking forward to the process and the completion of each sampler, culminating in my first ever sampler wall. As a child, I very much wanted to sew and embroider, but my mother discouraged me from learning. It would have been an excellent way to pass the time while I was bedridden with rheumatic fever, but I had to content myself with reading and daydreaming. The desire to stitch remained with me. However, now that I'm retired and in my 60s, I've taken to it at long last, with a passion, I might add. Thank you so much for contributing such joy to my stitching journey. You are truly an inspiration, with warmest wishes. That's so lovely. Thank you so much. It's funny how some mothers encourage and some mothers discourage. My mother, and in particular my paternal grandmother, were both very, very gifted with their needle, and they shared that with myself and my sisters, but my mother discouraged me from making a career out of anything that was artistic based. My parents wanted me to have a profession, and I was very, very blessed that I was able to retire relatively early when I sold out my business that I had built up. And In my early retirement, my hobby of needlework has become another business. But with Hands Across the Sea Samplers, I never think of it as a business. This is a byproduct of my own passion for needlework, and we never reproduce anything that myself, Lisa and Sandra wouldn't want to stitch themselves or have on their own sampler wall. And it's a funny thing, though it's become a business and a big business, the reward from Hands Across the Sea Samplers is you and the friendships and the relationships that have been built up from around the world. So thank you to each and every one of you. You enrich my life in so many ways. Thank you. I could just hear Ray come back. He's been to have another COVID jab. They've started to offer them to people who are 75 years of age and over. I don't know if I'll be offered another COVID jab, but if they do, I will be taking it up. It's a funny thing. I was only thinking of this a few weeks ago when Linda and I were travelling and we were getting in lifts where people were crammed in, and you know, we don't give COVID a thought anymore. When you look back, it's very, very surreal now. Anyway, next Sunday I will be at the attic. I plan to record a video with Kathy Ray of Needle in the Haystack and Sherry, the Stitch Along leader for the Sarah Rinder Stitch Along, which Kathy will publish at some stage. And we are hoping to record a video with Jean of the Attic, Janine of Acorns and Threads, Kathy of Needle in the Haystack, and possibly Carolyn of A Stitch in Time in Tasmania, and Janice from Traditional Stitches, but those two will be remote, about Hannah Campbell. In my cases that I'm taking, I've got my huge big dark red case that is full of samplers. Now, normally I don't like to check samplers into the hold, but Sarah Rinder framed and Hannah Campbell are far too big to fit into my hand luggage. So I've bought an air tag for my suitcase, and I was actually really chuffed because I connected my phone with the air tag all by myself without any help. I hope I don't have to call on my air tag to locate my case. It's really funny actually, because I've got this great big case full of those samplers and some other samplers. And then I've got this little cabin case that has all my clothes in. It's actually really, really surprising when you pack how little you do have to take with you to have some time away. A trick that somebody shared with me is to get all your outfits out on the bed and then take half of them away. Well, I've done that and everything is fitted into my cabin case with a little bit of room to spare, possibly for some shopping at the airport. We shall see. I know that we'll be doing lots of shopping at the attic. I've been saving my pennies for that. Okay, I hope that you stay well and that you stay safe and you have a fabulous week ahead. I'll be back here in 2 weeks' time with a Flosstube from my little nook here. Bye-bye.